If you read the title of this video, then we all know why you're here. That's right, Treasury yields have topped 4.2% for the first time since 2008. Hey everyone, Eric here, and today we're going to be talking about exactly why Treasury yields have reached sky-high levels, what Treasuries are exactly, and how to buy them. If that all sounds good to you, make sure to find your way to the subscribe button and click it if you haven't already, because that helps me grow this YouTube channel, and I would very much appreciate it if you did. But before we start, I just wanted to give a quick shout at Extra Wallets for being the first sponsor of this YouTube channel, but more on them later. Alright, so CNBC on Thursday of last week reported this news with this title: 10-year Treasury yield tops 4.2% for the first time since 2008. And before we can really appreciate how jaw-dropping that title was, I really should explain what exactly Treasury Securities are and exactly what they do. Treasury Securities are one of the safest ways of investment as they are fully backed by the faith and credit of the US government. Think of it as IOUs from your friends whenever they borrow money from you. Except in this case, your friend is actually the US government, and they actually give you a little bit of money on top of the money that they borrow from you, calling that interest. And there's three types of Treasury securities too. They are Treasury bills, which have the shortest range of maturities and are auctioned between 4 weeks, 8 weeks, 13 weeks, 26 weeks, and 52 weeks or 1 year. Treasury notes, which represent the middle range of maturities, and these are auctioned between 2 years and all the way up to 10 years. And finally, Treasury bonds, which are probably the most talked about out of the bunch, and these are the longest range of maturities and are typically auctioned either at 20 years or 30 years. Other positives that Treasury securities have, like I said before, is that they are backed by the US government, and while there's always a slight chance that the US government could collapse tomorrow, it's not just the ones that buy Treasury securities that are going to be in trouble. In that case, everyone's going to be in trouble. Second, Treasuries are fixed rates, which means at whatever Treasury yield you buy them at, they'll consistently pay interest at that rate until the date of maturity. And third, Treasuries are interest exempt from state and local taxes, which means these are advantageous for those of you out there that live in high tax areas such as New York or California. So why was the news on Thursday jaw-dropping? Well, it's no secret now that the economy and the stock market are plummeting. And with what seems like daily occurrences of the Federal Reserve raising interest rates and inflation being stubbornly difficult to manage, many people are trying to find safer means of investments to park their money at. And that's where Treasury securities come in. While the stock market continues to dip lower and lower each day, Treasury bills, notes, and bonds are increasing dramatically, even having Wells Fargo's Michael Schumacher calling the 10-year Treasury notes a meme stock, which is funny because unlike GME and AMC, Treasury securities are fixed rates. So they'll have what Schumacher calls meme stock status for 10 whole years because it's fixed rate and with no chance of dropping like meme stocks usually do after a couple weeks or months. And comparing what Treasury securities can earn you in interest versus what some of the best high yield savings account can, you begin to see why it's jaw-dropping news. You see, Treasury bonds are one of the safest ways of investments out of any type of investment that you can have. Unfortunately, that also means historically they're one of the lowest rates of return possible. So having something like a 4% or higher on a fixed rate Treasury security is insane because it's nearly unheard of, such as Wealthfront, who earns 2.55% APY each year, versus Treasury bills, notes, bonds that have an earning of a little more than 4%. Or Ally Bank, who I personally bank with and have a high yield savings account with, earns 2.35% APY each year versus again Treasury bills, notes, and bonds earning a little more than 4% right now. On the other hand, certificate of deposits are a little more competitive, with Ally Bank having yearly CDs give an annual percentage yield of 3.25%. However, with the Federal Reserve continuously increasing interest rates for the foreseeable future, I believe that Treasury securities, APYs on high yield savings accounts, and certificate of deposits will continue to increase as well, which is why I'd actually recommend, if you're interested in buying Treasury securities, to buy short-term ones instead of long ones, because they definitely still have room to increase in interest rates. So now that we've seen exactly what Treasury securities are and why it's historically amazing to have higher than 4% Treasury yields, how do you go about in buying one? But before we continue, I just wanted to briefly talk about Extra Wallets, the first sponsor of this YouTube channel. This right here is my personal Extra Parliament wallet, and I've got to say, I've had a ton of different wallets in the past, and this is by far my most favorite one. In the past, I've always lamented carrying around my wallets because of how bulky they all were. But with this wallet, it's been different. It's slim, carries everything I need and more, and it also has RFID protection, so I can rest easy knowing my cards will never be wirelessly stolen. Plus, it has a cartridge-like dispenser, which is perfect for fanning out all of the different cards that I'll be using for this quarter. If this version doesn't fit your style, Exter also has a slimmer version for strictly cards, but if you're leaning towards the more old school wallet type, there's a bifold version as well. With new credit cards seemingly popping up every single day, you definitely want a wallet that can keep up with the market. Make sure to use code ERICGAO or with the link in the descriptions down below to get an additional 5% off your next Exter wallet. That's right, this code is stackable, so if there's a deal for like 20% on the website, once you add this code you'll get 25% instead of 20. So again, make sure to use code ERICGAO at checkout or with a link in the description down below for an additional 5% off. Again, thank you to Exter for being the first sponsor of this YouTube channel, and with that, let's get right back into this video. The easiest way is to go directly to the source, and that's with treasurydirect.gov. To find current auction prices for every type of treasury security, go over to the Auctions tab towards the top of the page and click on Announcements, Data, and Results. Here you can see data on recent auction results and pending ones, such as 4-week treasury bills being auctioned off at almost 3.5% interest rates. Going through each tab, you can also find resources for treasury notes, which are the medium length treasury securities, and these are running anywhere between 3.898% all the way up to 4.29%. And finally, treasury bonds, which are the longest length treasury securities, which can range anywhere between 4% all the way up close to 4.5%. And please note that each type of treasury security have different timelines on when they are auctioned off, such as, for example, treasury bills, which are the shortest term treasury securities. For 4-week and 8-week T-bills, they are auctioned off every week and are announced on Tuesdays and auctioned off on Thursdays. For 13-week and 26-week T-bills, they're auctioned off every week and are announced on Thursdays and auctioned off the following Mondays. And finally, for 52-week T-bills, they're auctioned off every 4 weeks and are announced on Thursdays, and then auction dates are the following Tuesdays. With T-notes, they're auctioned off monthly, and T-bonds are actually auctioned off every quarter. But all you have to do in order to buy whichever you decide on choosing is to create an account with Treasury Direct, link your bank account information and social security. TreasuryDirect.gov is owned by the government and by Treasury Securities directly from the government, so you don't have to worry about some type of middleman. Alright, that comes to the end of this video. If you found any of the information within this video to be helpful, again, make sure to hit that subscribe button to help grow this YouTube channel so that other people can watch these types of videos as well. Also, consider leaving a like, ringing that notification bell, and also commenting in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching as always. Until next time, everybody, stay safe out there. Peace.